Okay, so I wanted to make just another video. I've gone in and I've done a lot more editing on the frequency editing here, so you can see the before. Here's the after. So I've just gone in and reduced the shadows under here, taken away the shadows from here. Just gone in and done some touch-up work. And when you're close up and you look at it, you know, it looks very, very natural. So there's still a lot of skin texture left in there, which is really nice. So now I was just gonna show you the other process that I use, which I was trying to tell you about in the other video. I get these actions from Totally Rad Actions, and I use them on almost everything. They're amazing. They have a section here for retouching. They have, you know, a little bit of blurring, vignetting, sharpening, stuff like that. The ones that I use the most is going to be the foundation. So I just click on that and it runs its little process. And after it runs that, the next one I'm going to do is I always do the eye makeover. I love that one. For this image, I'm going to do a little bit of deblotch. The deblotch is going to go through and just help with any area on the skin that, you know, is multicolored. It helps to smooth out the coloring and everything just really well. And then I'm going to use Dramatic Lashes, and I think on her I want to also use the lips. There's one for Luscious Lips, and I think I want to highlight in her irises just a little bit. So I'm going to do the iris lightener, but I'm not going to do too much with that. The other one that I like to use, especially with hair, like Mary Jane has, the Blonde Shine. So there's blonde and brunette. So on her I'm going to use the blonde. So after I run all these, then I start with the foundation. I usually zoom in at about 100%. I don't like to go more than that. I'm going to use just my regular brush, make sure it's on normal, and I'll start at about 35 or 40, depending on how much I want to change. And I'll just run over the skin really quick in the areas where I want it to just smoothen out a little. And then I'm going to go into the eyes. So for the eyes, I want to reduce it a little because I don't want it to be hugely dramatic. And I try not to hit the outside edges on this one. I just want to get the whites. And then I'm going to go over it again, just right around the eye area. So now just really quick, I'll go into the iris lightener. And I'm going to come in here and make it smaller and just brighten up just this bottom area. And sometimes I'll hit it in little spots or maybe make some lines just to try and make sure it looks as natural as possible. Just want to bring that up a little. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the deblotch. So right around here, and I want to bring this down because I don't want it to affect it a lot, but just right in here, there's some areas where the skin's having a hard time. It's got a lot of multicolors going on. So I usually just run over that real selectively, especially right under the eye where that dark and light transition goes on. And then up here. Sometimes I'll come down on the hands. Just smooth that out a little. And then some of my favorite is the dramatic lashes. So I'm going to probably pull this up a little, and then I like to make my brush a little smaller, so I'm just hitting the lash area. Sometimes I'll darken the eyebrows. So this function right here is kind of like dodging and burning. I'll get those where I want them, and then the Luscious Lips is just going to sharpen and pull in the highlights on the lips. Make them really stand out. And then the Blonde Shine, zoom out a little. I'll keep it at 30, and then I can reduce the opacity if it's too strong. But I usually just run over the areas that I want a little bit, just a little bit of highlights. Down here, just brings that out a little bit more. So I'm going to put all of these in a group so that I can show you the before and after. So this is before any of my Pro Retouch from Totally Rad, and then this is after. And you can go in and you can adjust that and take it down if it's too much, you know. But, you know, it really doesn't do a lot of damage to the skin. It usually just ends up looking really nice and polished. It brings out the eyes. And then this is before any sharpening. So if I'm going to go in and do sharpening, I'll create a new layer, go up to my filters, sharpen and smart sharpen. I used to use unsharpen, which I do like unsharpen, and it works really well. So you can use either method. But if you look at the image, so this is before sharpening and then after. So it really does bring out quite a bit. And you can raise this up if you want it a little bit stronger. But it doesn't do a lot of damage to the image. It doesn't give you ghosting or any weird spots and stuff like that. And it just really sharpens the image up nice. And then I'm just going to flatten my image again, and Control S, which changes it to a TIFF and brings it into my Lightroom. And then I've got my before and my after, and I can go ahead and I can make adjustments to it from here, put a little bit of a vignette on it, and then I can save it to my folders. So yeah, that's just a really nice editing process. The other functions that I use, which are really nice, I have some others that I've purchased. I'll have to send you the information on them, but for instance, this one, we use the Milk, and it runs its process, and then you can drag the opacity down, bring it up a little bit, and just put in however much you want. Just give the image the feel that you want. So there's a couple different possibilities there as well. So I'll send you that information.